Welcome. So today we're going to go to Little Mulberry Park. It is a park in Gwinnett County. It is a fantastic little park, and it has a lake, many trails, a lot of acres, and the trails themselves are consisted of paved and equestrian and meadows and loops and ravines and lots of things to see. So I'm going to take you there. But before we go there, on this little 5-mile journey, remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video. And if you really feel like a reader today, buy my book. I think you'll like it. Finnegan by John Paul Bensley. Okay, so I was pretending to drink this coffee actually a little bit ago. I'd already had my coffee early. I'm just starting this whole running thing again. It's been so many years. I used to run, well, I don't want to say I ran like a million marathons, but I ran a handful of marathons back in the 90s, I guess. And then I got hurt. Eventually had to get that spine fusion thing. I'm 50 years old. It's not like a midlife crisis or anything that I'm having. I've done so many things that I'm happy about, and I've done so many things that are adventurous. So this isn't really adventurous as much as it is life improvement, health improvement. I went and did my whole 50-year-old doctor visit thing. That was a nightmare. I ended up going through all that, but I ended up realizing that if I continue down this path of lacking health and weight, this weight thing that I'm dealing with is ridiculous. 250 pounds is what I was a few months ago, or 245, something like that. I can't remember. I think in my mind I rounded it up to 250. I tend to do that. But I think it was 250 pounds or 245 pounds. And I was like, well, I started to calculate in my head how much weight, because I keep my documents of all my doctor visits and my weight and blood pressure and all that stuff. So I was like looking at my projection, my weight projection, if I continued down this path, and it was very ugly, right? So I was just like, wow, I'm a ticking time bomb. So I need to get this under control. So I knew that my knees are a problem. My knees hurt. They freaking hurt all the time. My body hurts all the time. But most of that, I believe, is just the result of sedentary type lifestyle, bad eating. So I'm trying to change that. And because I can, I was able to kind of just shift gears. I'm a wildlife photographer by profession, and a writer. I've written a couple of novels. Well, one of them's not on the market because I haven't penned the last of it, because I'm not really 100% satisfied with it. I finished another little book, but I finished my first novel, Finnegan. And I've done some things militarily, and I've done some things, fitness-wise, marathons and stuff like that. But now, I'm like, my daughter sent me this video. You'll see the link below, of a guy who really just inspired me. I don't know if his intention was to inspire me, but I saw that he was probably about my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older. And he was freaking running 240 miles. But he was doing it in a way that I saw that it was manageable, which included some climbing, trekking poles, which I'm going to take today, And he also would walk from time to time, and he would talk to people. And I just thought, wow, I think that's something I could enjoy, if I could make it through the pain. And I think I can make it through the pain. So I've been doing this now for about 2 months. I've been running these trails and trying to increase my miles. And I think the most mileage I've done so far is about 13 miles at Fort Yargo, which is a state park in Georgia. And now we're going over to Little Mulberry Park, which I'm pretty excited about. So, and mostly because the weather is so fantastic. It's not even going to get much above 80 degrees today, Fahrenheit. So we're stoked. It's like the leaves aren't turning or anything like that, but it's like, we've been in the 90s all through September 2019. That's been crazy. By the way, wouldn't you hate to be a meteorologist when the weather's really bad all the time? I really have a lot of respect for our meteorologists around here. They put up with so much crap because people expect them to, I don't know, magically change the weather. Today the weather's bad. Dang gum you! Let's go run. Okay, I'm in the first part of the meadow area, and I am already about to escape it as we enter the equestrian trail coming up in here, which is the east side equestrian. I already twisted my ankle once. Because I'm carrying this thing, this camera, I still got a lot to figure out. Not using my sticks. So, but it's a nice day out here. The trail's kind of covered up with leaves. I don't usually run out here without my sticks, so I'm a little bit overly cautious. Not overly cautious, but extra cautious. Dadgummit. Spiders. These are the rocks freaking everywhere. I get over here to the edge, skip over the manure. This is the very unpredictable rocks. And so once I get past these rocks going down, I'll begin running again until I get to a point where I know that what we're coming to pretty soon is it's like a mile and a half. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Nothing but uphill, and it's pretty steep. Can't remember what the climb is. But it's pretty tough. Okay, so let's level off a little bit here, a little somewhat. You still get a runaway kind of effect though on some of these downhills. You gotta make sure you
watch directly under your feet, but you definitely need to see what's coming. That's west. I'm sure that that's the direction I'm supposed to go. But notice this floating leaf. It's coming right at you. Yeah, these little boogers. Caution, steep grade. So when I'm at a hill like this, or even really steep down, which is in the ravine loop, when we get there, I try to slow way down. Number one, for heart rate. Number two, because I want to get used to the pace of these longer runs, even though this is a short run. For the next 3/4 miles or so, maybe a mile, it's just hard. So I've had to stop and check my route a few times now already, and there are so many forks in the road here. Oh, look out. The right side is that these exposed roots make good places to step going up. The dark side of it is it will kill you going down if you're not careful. So I need to get my trekking poles. This bag doesn't have a good easy access on the sides, really. So this is really the only way to do it. Alright, so I'm finding myself frustrated carrying a camera around doing this. There's got to be a better way. Maybe you can help me. But I'm definitely going to use my trekking poles because this is kind of a beast. Anyways, I think I'm getting pretty close to the top of this, and then I'll be able to stretch my legs out a little bit more. I put my trekking poles up. That was a freaking nightmare. I put this microphone, I configured this microphone on top of this thing so that there was a better sound on this camera, and ooh, a little bit of down. And they even put a bench up here where you wanted to reward yourself, I guess. So you don't fall here. It is I don't know how far that would be. It's probably 50 50 feet or so down to that first level, and then it rolls again. And the trees are far enough apart that you'd probably have quite a journey. Whoa! The trail is not rocky, a little bit of a roll down. Oh, roots! God bless America. Right side is with these exposed roots and good places to step going up. The dark side of it is it will kill you going down if you're not careful. It's all good. Ay, 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 roots. It's okay. It's okay. I don't think I cut myself very badly if I did. But it's all good. Little badge of honor, I guess. Jeez almighty. And one temptation is to say, I'm too old for this. But on the other hand, it's like, hey, I can still fall pretty good. Oh boy. Dinged myself pretty good there. Camera looks perfect. In fact, it looks great. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, so I'm paying attention to the trail here. It's a heck of a roll down if you misstep. I'm glad I didn't fall here. I'd probably still be falling. So what we are on now is the ravine loop. It's turned from a concrete path to kind of a crush and run, kind of gravel kind of thing. And it's pretty in its way. There's a lot of moss lining the trails and ferns, and a lot of these hills need to shed that water without washing these trails out. So they built these block kind of waterways in the valleys of where these hills come together. It's really pretty through here. Think about recording this. Sure do have to stop a lot more. Not counting falling. Just generally speaking. Maintenance of cameras and such. And I can't wait to introduce you to my wildlife photography. I'll do this kind of similar thing. I'll bring you with a 600 millimeter, no teleconverters, 600 millimeter 4.0 aperture, which incidentally is what I shoot at most of the time. Anyways, I think you'll enjoy it. Stretch out. Come on, fat boy. Okay, up. We ran this on Friday a week ago, Friday night. There were thunderstorms and lightning, and the rain was heavy, and we hadn't had rain in a long time, so the rain felt pretty good. When I was a boy, we used to basketball practice and track and field too, but in football practice in particular, it was a normal thing for water to be withheld. I can't remember if we got water somewhere in the halfway point or at the end of practice. But in Oklahoma, where I grew up, in the summertime it did get real hot. It wasn't too humid, but you'd be in triple digits a lot, and you'd be out under that sun. And I'm really glad that in general the sports community has gotten much more wise to the importance of water. And now, golly, it seems that it's one of the first things on people's minds, all the way to the point where there's a market now for backpacks that hold water. How about that? I mean, they've been around a long time, but and I've only been using them for a few years. And it's just really, it makes your workout so much more enjoyable when you're out away from everything, away from any water source that is trustworthy anyways. Even though we're on the north side of Atlanta, pretty sure I wouldn't drink out of that creek. Whoa, I almost fell again. Okay, and that's another reason why I wear or use trekking poles most of the time. So I need to figure out a way to make this work. I need to figure out a way to use both my trekking poles. I have a chest plate thing that I can put, but I don't think I can put this microphone on it. Anyways, if you have any ideas, let me know. Thanks. ravine loop again. It's paved on the front side of it from the entrance of the meadow area. On both entrances, it kind of makes just a loop. It's a ravine loop. This ravine loop is freaking straight uphill. I don't know how long, half mile or so, and then it opens up and back onto the meadow and around the outlet point, and then you just run back down the hill to the parking lot where the pavilion is, and we're done. I wish I had my trekking poles. There they are. Eating cereal before we go to bed. It's really a bad habit. Just stacking calories that don't get burned, it just turns into fat, I think. And then it's not like I'm eating anything healthy either. It's like I'm eating Honey Nut Cheerios and Captain Crunch. Back at the meadow, that up there is supposedly the highest point in Gwinnett County, which isn't that much, but still it's kind of cool. Seems like everything you gotta plug in these days. I like using these little cheap speakers by Alltech, Lansing, sometimes because they have a good sound, they're affordable, and sometimes it's better than using headphones. Depends. If I'm listening to a book or something like that, I'll use headphones, but music I'll usually just use that little speaker, keep it in my pack. Pretty sure I got red mud on my, I know I got red mud on my seat on the corner of it when I leaned in, put my hand down. Now my part of my hand is clean because it transferred to my seat. Today was man, what a day. 74 degrees, is that right? Wow. Can't beat that. No sir.